the Defiant Ones here in historic Washington Hall. I had to sit down with a guy that I talked to during the pandemic, but a lot has happened since. 100 Proof, Clark Connors. How you doing, man?
Yeah, good, man. I'm excited. I'm about to go beat the hell out of Cody Chun and
Yep.
win myself this 8 WGPXPWL tournament.
Yeah.
All these letters in wrestling, man. They got to get over themselves. But
IWGP, 8XGP, everything's GP. So welcome back to the show. First time in person, I believe, that we've done this.
yeah.
Bullet Club, dude. You're a part of Bullet Club. How would you have ever thought that you could be a part of Bullet Club like a few years ago? How dope is that to be a part of, the premier faction in pro wrestling?
Well, we're making it the best, most premier faction in pro wrestling again. When I was coming up, I mean, I've known you for a long time, and, I came up in DEFY. I created DEFY. This is why it's so big as it is because Clark Connors made Washington Hall. And during that time, it must have been 2017, 2018. That's kind of when Kenny Omega and the Bucks were kind of running roughshod in Bullet Club. And honestly, I came up, and that was the first time I ever learned about it. I hated it.
Really?
Yeah, those guys were a bunch of nerds, a bunch of geeks, video game players, don't go out a day in their life, don't know how to have real fun. And they were this Bullet Club thing. So I didn't know what it was, and my only idea of it was this stupid thing, this geeky thing that a bunch of fat dudes in t-shirts are wearing their shirts. But, eventually when I went down and started working for New Japan, I got to learn the history of it. I learned about DEVIT and kind of the roots of Bullet Club. And at that point, I was intrigued. That's something I want to be a part of. So, when David Finlay took over, he set the tone. He brought it back to what it's supposed to be. And that was a group I wanted to join. That's a group I want to be a part of. So Bullet Club, War Dogs, that's myself, it's David Finlay, it's Drilla Maloney, Alex Coughlin, Gabe Kidd, best in the business, and we're going to take over the world, man.
Nice, man. Okay.
Yeah, bro.
Well, it's setting me straight a little bit
Yeah.
about that. So, we'll retell a little bit about, your journey to New Japan. So, was it pre-pandemic that you went down to the New Japan Dojo?
Yeah, man, it was what was it? Must have been early 2018. So I was trained at the Buddy Wayne Academy,
Yep.
With Cody Chun and
Yeah.
King Cash and Guillermo.
Yep.
And an opportunity came up to go just do a camp down, and I had never actually even really heard of New Japan. I had watched, the only wrestling I really always watched was like WWE, and I barely knew about the independents before I came and took them over myself. But we went down to that camp, and it was just a regular camp. There was no offer about a job or anything, and Katsuyori Shibata was down there, and some of the head bookers and talent scouts were there, and they saw me wrestle. They saw me train for 5 days, and they said, "We gotta get this guy a job."
Yeah.
And so that's kind of where it started. And so I was the initial recruit for the LA Dojo, and it all kind of shot up from there.
What were they looking for? Were they looking for finished packages, or were they looking for potential? Were they looking for a certain thing? Like, do you know?
Yeah,
what their
no,
mindset was?
I mean, at first I had no idea. I just went down there, did my thing, you know. And I was green, but I was good, like really good, you know. But I went down there, and after talking to Shibata, after all these years of knowing the guy, he was like, "We picked you because of your heart. You have a great heart in this business, and that's something you can't teach. That's that it factor. That is something that most people, 99% of the population and 99% of wrestlers don't have. Top of the top, cream of the crop." So he saw that in me, and so from there, we started out, and I was good, but he broke us down. And I've said this on other podcasts, and I'm flippant about it, but I don't care. I think there was a time there where he actually tried to break us down and make us worse, so he could build us back up in his image, in New Japan's image. And there's
How so?
Well, he would teach us techniques that were great and all, but sometimes when we wanted to rely on our old techniques, some of these things I would do on the indies, he would say, "Oh, that's no good. That's no good." But then we would lose matches, and he would be like, "Why did you lose?" I was like, "Well, because I was doing your shit." you know,
Yeah.
right? And so that's why that young line system, it's great and all, and it teaches you things. But I already had the heart. I was already good. I didn't even broken down. I was 25, 26 years old already. I'm
Sure.
not an 18-year-old skinny Japanese kid
Yeah.
who needs to eat chanko every day and get all fat and before they shape him back down, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a whole process. So either way, I came out of it, and that's a big reason why the whole Bullet Club thing came about. I was like, I was so sick of that, so sick of that bullshit, dude, where they didn't understand that I'm already that good. So here we are.
All right,
Yeah,
man.
man.
So you were a part of New Japan Strong during a very interesting period because the world's in this global pandemic,
Yeah.
and then you guys really created something unique and original. Tell me a little bit about what that was like being a part of New Japan Strong during the pandemic, and you couldn't go over to Japan because of those global restrictions. Was that a special time for you?
Yeah, I mean, I look back on it, and it's bittersweet, right? Because once again, like I did with DEFY, and like I've done every place else in my career with the LA Dojo, I built New Japan Strong. I built it. Alex built it. Gabe built it. All the guys are in Bullet Club with me now, basically. Excuse me, Eddie Thorpe.
Yeah.
Eddie Thorpe built it,
Yeah.
and we carried that stuff, man. I was on every show. I was busting my ass, and it was a cool environment. I was a locker room leader. I was doing everything. That's my locker room. You come there, hell, when Okada comes, if he came to a Strong, that's my locker room, dog. Like, you might be Kazuchika Okada, but no, you're at New Japan Strong. We're drinking beers. We're having fun. We're busting ass. So it was cool. It was good for me to get to experience that. And obviously the no crowd stuff was weird.
Yeah.
It was like wrestling in the Twilight Zone. We were out in, where were we, Port Hueneme, and just like in this cold building and just beating the slobber out of each other, dude.
And you don't know if it's a good match because there's no fans to say if it's a good match. It's just you're beating each other up to just echoes of the
Yeah, you hear your own, like, when you can hear yourself like breathing and thinking, it's like, this sucks, dude. Yeah, like and we would tape, right? So it'd be like my second or third match of the day, and I'd just be like, dude, I'm gonna go back out there and fucking punch this guy in the face and get punched a bunch of times. Just for chopping each other, New Japan style, Strong style, which is great and all, but I think once again that leads me back towards where I'm at now, where it's like, I'm sick of that stuff. I don't want to do that stuff. And so it's not taking the shortcuts, none of that stuff. I'm just gonna join Bullet Club, and I'm gonna get those pushes because of the people I'm with and how we handle our business, and we win, man. That's all that matters.
Yeah. When you've made that initial trip over to Japan, was that?
Yeah, what the fuck do you want, bro?
So going that initial trip over to Japan though to really make a name for yourself, what was that like for you?
Yeah, so, well, here's the thing. I had actually been over to Japan with New Japan as a young lion a couple times before the world shut down, So 2019, we started kind of like ramping up. I had my debut match. Alex and I had our debut match against each other in September of 2018. And then July for the G1 in 2019, Carl and I went over and we did a bunch of Young Lion matches, and we got in the rhythms, and we went back for another tour, and then we were at Rev Pro, then we were at Ring of Honor. We were really picking up steam. It was, okay, it's time to change the trunks. You guys are good to go.
Yeah.
And then the world shuts down. So from those experiences, it was really cool, like just getting thrown into the fire, right? Like, that was fun. Like, I don't love Japan, but it's fun. We have a good time.
Yeah.
We have a great time. And so going back, right, and I had this new character, I was the Wild Rhino, I'd unleashed, and I'd done all this great work on Strong. And then I get back to Japan for the Best of the Super Juniors, right? And I'm coming in and my hair's long, and I walk in. I'm like so excited, like, all right, let's go, time to kill it. We're ride that momentum that was taken away from me. I get back and no one remembers who the fuck I am. It comes very apparent to me that they weren't watching New Japan Strong, like the fans were. Yeah. That was great, but the guys in the locker room weren't. They weren't. They were just taking it like, okay, they must have been doing their thing in America. We're doing our real thing in New Japan, and that bothered me.
Disrespectful.
That was super disrespectful. People like just were like, oh, hi, nice to meet you. I was like, bro, I know you. Like, I met you. It was a couple years ago. Sorry, I
Yeah.
looked a little different.
But I've been killing it.
But yeah, but like, I'm part of this company.
Yeah.
So that was a chip on my shoulder, and it was having to do it all over again. And this time it was like, uh, it didn't have that like leeway of being a young lion that like the fans necessarily can like bite into, right? It was like, oh, who's this random guy, right? So that took a toll on me mentally. It took a toll on all of the guys who had to go back and do the same thing.
Yeah.
So that was hard, but got through it and kicked ass. Did great, but once again, it wasn't enough.
Yeah. Man, so what you mentioned something kind of flippantly there. You said, "I don't love Japan." What do you mean by that?
I think Japan has a lot of good qualities, right? The food's wonderful, the nightlife is fun, but it wears on you. It's a bunch of dumb rules. It's indicative of basically how we were trained too. It's like it's a bunch of archaic rules, and they're really slow at changing anything, right? Like you can't like if the stoplight's red, the walk sign's red, people will just sit there. There's no cars for a mile. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. People just stand there at the corner and wait, And I'm like, dude, no, just walk across the street. Little things like that, where it's like obviously that's such a small thing, but there's everything's like that. It adds up. You can't. You're not supposed to like. It's rude to eat in public or walk and drink beers or whatever it is, or sit on the subway and talk loudly. And it's like these people are so brainwashed. And so that part of it wears on me of always being like, oh God. And so now we just have completely stopped giving a fuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we've put out some content of us on Night Out on the Town, a typical Night on the Town, and that's real. That's us being like, you know what? Screw your country. It's a lot more fun now than it was when I was trying to be a good boy, So it's like because I go over there and people love me, I mean, even I could be I don't care about these people most of the time, If they're a big Clark Connors fan, what's up? How you doing? Buy me a drink, and that's about all I'll give them. And they just for some reason will love that too.
Yeah.
So you have to find your ways to make it fun, and it
You found your way.
I did,
Nice,
I
nice.
did, yeah. Make it. It's my world, we're all living in it.
Yeah. You're watching the Defiant Ones here with Clark Connors, 100 Proof. We'll be right back after just a minute. You're watching the Defiant Ones here. We got Clark Connors, and we're talking a little bit about, Japanese culture. We're talking about wrestling. We're talking about New Japan. So, Cody Chun, man, you've had a rivalry with him. Tell me what, You kind of grew up in wrestling with Cody Chun, is that right?
Yeah, man. I looked at him for the longest time as like a brother. You know what I mean? He's the one that, like I said before, got me down to New Japan. He kicked off that part of my career, and then I saw him up here. He's still pushing. He's pushing. He's never really reaching that brass ring, as they call it, right? And I'm out there and I'm busting my ass and I'm going like the hardest training in the world, like we really are we're Marines, we're raw dog is what we say. We're pirates, dude. The baddest guys in the world down there in New Japan, especially LA Dojo dudes. And I see him up here and so I finally get to start coming back up here, doing some shots, working for DEFY again. And it's great and we're having fun and I keep seeing him he's just down on his luck. So my biggest thing for him is I always tell him, like, bro, like believe in yourself, dig in, find that next level, that edge. And he couldn't do it. So sometimes it's tough love, dude. So I just, after the match, we had a triple threat with Artie as well, and Artie pinned him. And that was the final straw for me, dude. I was like, you know what? This tough love isn't going to work. I just got to batter him. And I'm going to throw him in the fire. Like, that's how I was taught in New Japan, so it's payback, so I whooped his ass because that's the only way he's going to learn, and now I'm kind of having fun, bro, because I'm got this, and maybe it is a change in my attitude. And maybe it is me just getting so sick of what I got dealt with in Japan. And maybe it's rubbing off onto me. But I don't care. I like it. I feel good about it, and love me or hate me here. This is still my company. And Cody, we're gonna face off tonight. We're facing off in a couple hours. That's why I'm drinking water right now.
Yes.
It's a rare occasion to see me. Yeah, I know. Because I actually want to focus up to really whoop his ass. It's hot in here. It's hot.
It is.
So So yeah, I'm gonna see if he can step up, and I think he will. I think he will. But the thing is, it's still not enough.
Yeah.
I'm still on like above his level. You know what I mean? And so if he can figure out a way to get through and break through the next level, more power to him, dude.
Which Defy wrestlers, like kind of hometown talent, do you think could make it in New Japan if pushed?
I think Cody could, dude.
Yeah.
If he could figure it out, you know, I think he's got the heart like somewhere deep down, But even C4's tag team partner Guillermo, right? He could make it. I think Defy has some of the best local homegrown talent. Where this company's really good at that. Really good. Shaft, bro. That motherfucker's. I mean, I wrestled his first match here. Beat me. Like he's good. All these guys. And I think that it is that next level though of like having the heart. Having the will to just like give up your life when you're 25, 26, 27 years old. I gave up everything. I was a cool dude. I mean, I had a lot of good things going, and I gave it all up to cook chonko and live in a house with 6 guys and babysit a Japanese guy, a 4-year-old Japanese guy for 5 years.
Wait, you babysit a 4-year-old kid?
No, 40.
Oh, 40. Oh, okay.
Shibata, yeah.
Okay.
No, that would be cruel and unusual. Actually, I like kids. I'll be honest with you. I fuck with kids.
So just kind of throwing it out there, just a fun question, music wise, if there was no budget requirements or anything, and you could have any musician, band, or anything create a custom song and play you to the ring, who would it be?
That's hard. I like that. I always really been messing with like 50, bro. Like, I mean, of course, I see the dudes on AEW, the guns coming out to Many Men, just ruining it, just ruining 50 for me, dude. That's tough. So yeah, I would have 50, and like I would have him come up with a new track for me, but some that bumps. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Yeah.
Dude. 50 Cent. He's going on a final tour.
He's the dude. He's the dude. Like either him or I go in a different direction, get them Motley Crue boys to play me out.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That's my vibe, bro.
That'd be cool, man.
They don't call me Cocaine Connors for no reason. You know what I'm saying? That's my dudes.
All right, man. Awesome. Well, so next couple years are, the sky's the limit, dude. You're in Bullet Club. You're riding strong. You're, 100 proof, dude. What's your goals for the next couple years?
Man, we're gonna run this thing out. You know what I mean? Like this Bullet Club, we're gonna ride it until it dies. You know what I mean? If we're the ones who killed Bullet Club, we're gonna do it on our own terms. The War Dogs are here to stay. Drilla Maloney and I are, the IWGP Junior Heavyweight champions over there.
Yep.
And we'll hold those pretty much until we don't want to hold them anymore.
Okay.
That's a given. I will eventually, when I feel like it at this point, win the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. I will be the face of that division more than I already am. And from there, who knows? We're the War Dogs, but like I said, we know a dude named Eddie Thorpe too. So, he's doing big things over there. That's my wolf for real.
Yeah.
So, you know what? Sky's the limit for Clark Connors, baby.
I love it, man. All right, final question for you, dude. And it does not have to be wrestling related, but pick a scar on your body. Show us if you can, but at least tell us the story of how you got the scar.
Yeah, let's get a good one. So I got plenty, but I mean, I don't know if you can even see it right here, but like I got this one, and this one's the one that every like good wrestler I think has, especially every New Japan wrestler. I mean, sure. I don't even know if you can see it. It's right on the eyebrow, the old Hardway scar, and that is one of those things that when we would be in practice in the LA Dojo, we would just Shibata would be like, no. We'd be beating the shit out of each other, and at least once every week and a half, 2 weeks, one of us would get busted open right there. So I've had this busted open 6-7 times, dude, just from just going in there because we're doing jiu-jitsu, we were doing, just like working on, Muay Thai kicks and stuff, and so you just get caught all the time. So yeah, I have plenty of blood coming down this side of my face for a long time.
But you worked your ass off, dude, and you're now reaping the benefits for it. So congratulations, bro. We're stoked to have you back here in Defy when we can. And, sky's the limit. Like you said, 100 proof Clark Connors. Any final words for Defiance?
Hey, guys. I'm back. You're welcome. Because it's your dog for real.
It's the Defiant Ones.
Professional wrestling has a brand new home where you can watch top-tier action for free. Defy, Enjoy, PCW Ultra, and more. Your new destination for the very best professional wrestling. Remix.tv, where we watch wrestling.